Hey, what's up? It's Tori Kelly, and I just did an interview with the Zach Sang Show. You should check it out. We talked about all the things, including my album.
Let's do this. Zach Sang Show.
Hi, beautiful human. We got Dan here, and we have Tori Kelly hanging out in the studio.
She's back again.
Yeah, but like it's really not that long. It's 9 months. But
Yeah, it's 9 months since I've been here.
But I've seen you a couple times since you came in for Hiding Place. And
Yeah.
By the way, I still got records off that album that are in my daily playlist.
Oh, that's awesome.
Beautiful,
Yay.
inspiring body of work. If you haven't listened, you have to. But we have a new album.
Yes.
Inspired by true
Inspired by
events.
true events. And by the way, I do feel like I've run into you so many times
But like
since the last time I was on the show.
always the
Yeah.
best situations and
Yes.
environments.
A lot of concerts, I feel like we've run into each other.
Alec Benjamin was the
Alec
most recent.
Benjamin, Ariana
That
Grande.
was a good time.
That was a good time.
Good
There was another one, I
energy.
feel like, another concert, no?
There was it wasn't Jonas Brothers, but what it was. There was a third, but this is the second time we've had this conversation about what the third concert
Yeah.
was. I'm not saying that all shows blend in; they don't. They're all unique. But you go to see Alec Benjamin, that show on another freaking level.
Another level. I'm such a fan of him.
It was the John Mayer evening where he just showed up.
He surprised the crowd. That was so cool. I was not expecting that. He's so good.
His fingers, and then the songs that Alec writes.
Yeah.
Bonkers.
Crazy. Yeah.
But you have a deep appreciation for other artists. Like, do you have the ability to be there in the crowd, like, and just watch solely as a fan? Can you like take the business and the art and all that out of it?
I want to say yes, but maybe there is a small part that never really shuts off just because I am an artist too. But I do feel like there, especially with certain artists, like, Alec is one of them, where I can go to the show and just like be in awe of the talent and like even for a second, even forget that I'm also a musician. I'm just kind of like respecting him as a musician. And then on a whole nother level, there is this kind of like respect that happens because I am in music as well. So when I'm at a show, there's like a whole bunch of things going on in my head. But I love great artists who are also great people too. I think that makes it even more awesome when you actually get to meet them and they, everything like makes sense. All the music that they write, it's like, oh, that makes sense coming from you, and you're dope. That's so cool.
Would you say that's rare?
I don't know if it's too rare. I mean, I don't know if it's super rare. I guess maybe I don't meet a lot of artists, but I meet a lot of really cool people.
Well,
so.
maybe that's it. Maybe
maybe I'm just in like cool circles. I don't know.
You run in cool circles.
Not even cool, but just like chill.
Genuine.
And genuine, like normal people where I love when you like forget that someone is really famous. Like I always use like Ed Sheeran as an example because I mean everybody loves Ed Sheeran. He's obviously one of the biggest stars in the world, but if you are lucky enough to meet him, you'll see that he's just like a normal dude. And I think that's so cool. Like you can just talk to him.
It's reflective in his music.
Yeah, seriously.
You hear it, and the fact that the songs he writes, but just like you and a lot of other cool, genuine artists, the songs they write are still grounded in reality, and they have a strong sense of who they are, and who they are is exactly who other people are at the same time. And that level of vulnerability matched with like being self-aware, but also aware of everything around you. I don't know. It all matters.
And thank you for putting me in that group. Thanks.
It's the truth.
That's awesome.
Inspired by True Events is nothing but honest. From the little time-stamped pieces in there that definitely, like when you listen top to bottom to the album, it aids in that story.
Yeah.
It really, you're telling individual stories, but at the end of it, you are telling one, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I wanted to name it Inspired by True Events because it did feel like when I took a step back from all of the songs it was like over the last 2 or 3 years I've been writing for this album. Wow. And I know it's been a minute, but because some of these songs were written even before the gospel album came out, and that one just kind of came out of nowhere and it was like, this needs to be out. But Inspired by True Events, it's really just me kind of opening up about the last couple years and all the things that have kind of went down. And it's definitely the most personal album and the most like vulnerable album that I've ever done. It's not going to be, songs that'll be like playing in the club or something. Like it's not like a dancey, fun. I guess there's some fun songs on it, but for this chapter in my life, it really just was like, you know what, I need these songs to come out. I need to say these things and just keep it really raw and authentic.
You can feel it with every record, in every lyric. It's something. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Wow, thank you.
Is it hard to put some of these songs out there because you're really putting it all out there?
Yeah, it is. But then at the same time, I thought about this recently, and if I were to just kind of skip over these songs or skip over this chapter of my life and just kind of gone into singing about whatever I felt like singing about, I think it would have just felt unnatural, and there would have been this like piece of me kind of missing, I think. And yeah, it would have felt maybe a little bit fake. These songs just like, they just poured out.
And I feel like some of them had to be told, like these stories, and like you had to put some of these things in like some physical form.
Yeah, definitely.
And my interpretation of the records, I think some of them are really kind of cut and dry. I mean, like Change Your Mind.
Yeah.
You're singing to your family.
Yes.
You're singing to your dad.
I am.
You're trying to convince him from where I'm sitting that like Andre's the person for you.
Yeah. Good job. I'm glad you got that because that's exactly what it is.
It's
yeah. You don't have to really like read between the lines in some of these songs, which it's kind of just like black and white,
Like you had to say that.
Yeah.
In this song form, right?
Yeah, and so I wrote a lot of this album with this amazing producer / songwriter named Jimmy Napes. I'd say he's most known for like all the Sam Smith stuff. Cool. Who also isn't, he's obviously gone. He's like very emotional singer and a songwriter. So he really helped me go into that place, and like he really held my hand because I was nervous at times. I mean, I remember sitting at the piano. We were writing "Change Your Mind." And there was a line, I think it was when the song sort of started taking shape, and I was like mumbling some lyrics. Like we didn't have that many lyrics yet. And I was just like mumbling stuff and kind of humming along. And he thought that I said, there's a line in the song that says, "And Daddy, he got a hold on me." So I'm like literally making it obvious who I'm singing about. And he thought I said, Dad, and he was like, "Oh, you have to say Dad. That's great. That's a great line." And I was like, "What do you mean? No, I don't. Like, I don't want to make it that obvious. What do you mean?" And he was like, "No, you should. Like, that's exactly what you should say." And I was just not ready to go there yet, because "Change Your Mind" was really one of the first songs that kind of like broke through, and then the rest of the songs sort of followed. And he showed me, I'll never forget, he showed me this thing on Instagram. He pulled it up. And it was some post that he got sent to him, and it just said, "Dear young writer, that thing that you're most afraid to say that." Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like I knew deep down, like that's exactly, that little bit of uncomfortableness was like, that feels like kind of the theme of this album.
That's
it's
how
like,
you know it's right.
That's how you know. And it's, yeah. And at the same time too, I really didn't have much to be scared of, because at the end of the day, it's what happened. I got to play the song for my dad, and he was just like, yeah, I mean that's what happened. Like there's no, I don't think there's any like disrespect towards my dad in the song. It's, if anything, it's me saying, hey, I really respect you, and you're my dad, and like I want you a part of this, and I want your blessing. And so it was me just pouring my whole heart into that.
Trust in me, I'm going to need your blessing. Oh, I love him. I'm confessing. It takes my life. If it takes my life, I'll change your mind. Like, powerful stuff.
Yeah.
How do you even set that whole thing up for your dad? Like, do you...
before I played it?
Yeah, do you tell him what he's about to get into, or...
Yeah, I mean, I held on to the song for a while, and then I just had him come over, and yeah, I just played him the song. And my dad's a musician, too, so he... very, very good ear. And it was so funny because here I am kind of nervous about like, actually singing directly to him in a song. And he, right when the song was done, he loved the song, but he was also commenting on like the instrumentation of it, and he was like, "Oh yeah, this part sounds cool." And so it was cool because I think it sort of took off that edge a little bit. And I think if anyone is going to understand me pouring my heart into music, it's going to be him, because he really taught me everything. You know, like I grew up singing with him all the time, so I think it was this sort of, I don't know, it was an interesting meeting, but I think it went well.
Hey, beautiful human, real quick. If you're considering going back to school, you should ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits that you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of these questions, Arizona State University could be the perfect school for you. Arizona State University offers 200 highly ranked degree programs, 100% online. You're going to earn the same degree as you would on campus from wherever you are on your schedule. Plus, ASU Online accepts most transfer credits. If you want more information, text my name, Zach, to 35517. That is Zach to 35517. So you can learn for yourself why the Wall Street Journal ranks ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates, and why 87% of ASU grads are recruited within 90 days of graduation. That's a big number. 87% of the graduates, they get a job in 90 days. Learn to grow, learn to succeed, and learn to thrive at Arizona State University. To learn more about ASU online degrees, text Zach to 35517. That is ZACH to 35517. Knowledge is power. Did you get his blessing? Has he given it?
Eventually, yeah. I mean, we're married, so yeah.
I mean, you could have gotten married and not gotten the blessing.
There's honestly, like, there's a lot of different perspectives. This was all like a couple years ago, so it was like very messy and a lot of different opinions going on. And yeah, my now husband, then boyfriend, he didn't move forward until he thought that he did have the blessing. So that's kind of where the confusion happened, was yeah. But there's a lot of different perspectives to it. But at the end of the day, there's been a lot of conversation since then and a lot of healing since then, just within my family and with, Andre and the family. And so it's, it's definitely better.
Does the record play a part in that healing?
For me, it did. I don't know about for other people, but for me, like, that's the only way I know how to express really like what I'm feeling. And I think when I'm a late processor too, and I'm not always the best communicator. So I think when I do write these kind of songs, I have noticed that I think it does help people kind of understand my heart a little bit more and where I'm coming from. I don't know how it is for them, but I think it's the only way I really know how to communicate sometimes. But I'm working on that too, because words are good too, like in real life. You can't put everything into a song. Yeah, we're working on that.
Is Sorry Would Go a Long Way kind of like a sequel to that song?
Not necessarily a sequel, but I guess when I went to London to write with Jimmy Napes, so Sorry Would Go a Long Way and Change Your Mind were written in the same week. And it's not that those things happened really close together. I think it was more that my emotions were just so high and I was like kind of freaking out. And these writing sessions happened to be right after we got engaged. So there was just a lot going on. It was actually really cool. I got to fly to London and kind of get away from it all. And at
the same time reflect and kind of marinate in it.
Yeah, and process it. Yeah. And, it almost felt like therapy in a way, because I'm telling Jimmy all these things that have happened. And I'm like, I don't know if these are even songs, but I don't know what else to do. Like, at this point, I was like, I don't even think that these are the type of songs people want to hear. I was really thinking that. I was like, I don't know if this is it, if this is like the hit, if this is the sound, but I have to write these songs or else I'll go crazy. And so, Sorry Would Go a Long Way was that same week of just kind of like spilling out everything. And that song is actually about my parents splitting up, which happened also in the last couple years, which was another, obviously hard thing for for me to go through and just for the whole family to go through. And that one's kind of a sensitive one because obviously it's not really my story to share, but that song is kind of my way of stepping into that story. And
is it your perspective of it, or are you writing from one of your parents' perspectives?
If anything, it's kind of my perspective in a way, but at the same time, I'm playing kind of a narrator, I think, and kind of stepping into their story. But at the same time, I know that it is only one perspective. You know, you can't share the whole entire story in a song. So, and I try to be really sensitive of that as well. But it's another one of those songs that I was like, man, this feels kind of uncomfortable, but I don't know, I have to say it.
Well, you did say, so be a man about it and admit you've done me wrong. I was like, sheesh.
Yeah. There was a lot of emotions going on. Yeah.
If it need to be said, it need to be said.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful level of vulnerability and honesty, and the records are beautiful.
Thank you.
And to be honest, they can be interpreted in so many different ways, which makes them very special.
That's good. I hope that people can connect to the songs, even though they're really personal to me. I've already kind of gotten a few stories because I went on tour with a lot of this music and sort of tested it out just acoustically.
But not the church shows.
No, I did another tour just acoustic, and it was like, here's a bunch of new songs. They're really heavy, and I'm going to tell you guys some of the stories. And I've already kind of gotten some feedback from fans of just how much they've related to the songs, and that just trips me out because it's like I'm writing from such a personal point of view where I think like, you know, no one else is going to relate, and then I get to hear these stories. It's amazing.
Do you do those shows to test the waters to see if you're on the right creative track?
A little bit, yes and no. I mean, I think I still knew that because the album was pretty much done at that point, so I kind of knew that these songs still needed to come out. But I think if anything, it was really helpful for me because these songs are so heavy that instead of just like having to come out and then I have to like talk about it and stuff, it was cool to let the audience and let my fans who are at these shows be kind of the first ones to hear it and respond to it. That was really cool for me.
Powerful record.
Thank you.
Pretty Fades.
Oh, that record is powerful?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yes, it does.
Big one.
And yes, it does. Did you guys see all the like old person pictures that were out the other day? That was that was like
Pretty
very,
Fades.
very accurate. Yeah. I hopped on that.
But Hey Television, Can't Think Straight, Got Me Believing, That I Can't Age, Trying to Convince, But I Know the Truth, There Is Something More Beautiful Than My Youth. I mean, that is something that people need to be reminded of.
Yeah, we don't hear it all the time.
Ever.
Looks don't last forever.
No. Life doesn't last forever. I mean,
That's true.
we have to remember that too. Life is short, you know?
And why focus on the surface? Why focus on beauty? Something so fickle and I don't want to say meaningless because maybe I'm casting too judgmental of a vibe onto people who put all of their stock and equity in their own beauty.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's so much more than beauty and the way somebody looks. I feel like I'm having this conversation all the time with people because I have friends who are just obsessed with it.
Yeah. It's tough. I think especially in our generation with social media and stuff, it's like we're so like instant gratification. It's like everything's like right in front of us. So that song's kind of a reminder for myself too, because when I wrote it, I can't take full credit actually. I wrote it with two amazing, like, this is my song that I wrote completely by myself. It's written with Britton Newble and Haley Warner, two amazing writers. And so I just went to the studio that day and kind of explained to them that I was, I have to tell the whole story. I have to go back a little bit. Okay. This is the story I told on tour too, and people were amused by it. So Andre, my husband, then we were just dating, but we were having like a deep conversation and just talking about like how crazy it is to get older and like what are we going to be like, and you know, like we were already talking about marriage at that point and stuff. And he turned to me, and I know he was trying to be sweet when he said this, but he looked at me and he was like, babe, I'm gonna still love you even when you're ugly. And I was like super taken aback and like kind of offended. And I knew that he was obviously trying to be sweet, but I, for some reason, was offended. He could have used a different word, but that day I just remember like getting kind of annoyed and like going really internal and then questioning myself, like, wait, why am I so offended by that? Like looks don't last forever, and even just youth in general doesn't last forever. And I started thinking just about all the different things that are temporary versus like the things that last forever, and just, you know, thinking about the difference between inner beauty and outer beauty. And so I just had all these thoughts swirling around my head, and I remember writing just 2 words, and I wrote down in my phone, pretty fades. And then a couple of days later, or not too long after that, I went to the studio, and it literally just started with that title, and then we kind of like unpacked it from there. But I always kind of dedicate this song to Andre because he kind of inspired it in a weird way. But even he says now, like when I tell that story, he's like, I definitely could have used a different word, okay? Like, I'm sorry. But I'm like, no, I'm glad you said that because it made me think, and it challenged me. So it was good.
And now you know something that you carry with you. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot of people who hear that record are going to be hit with something that is kind of needed because it's almost the anti of everything else that we're told.
Yeah.
Right? Like everything from Pinterest to Instagram to TV shows. Everybody's kind of told how to dress, how to look, how to be. But pretty fades, man.
It's what's on the inside that counts.
Yes. and yeah, that's a simple way to put it. That's good. We should make T-shirts.
I like
pretty
that.
Fades.
Whoa.
Inside the inside counts on the back. Yeah.
We're on the inside of the T-shirt.
Yeah. Oh. Whoa, that's good.
Wow.
Like in the back, in the little
you see it?
tag, yeah, or anywhere on the inside, yeah. That'd be good.
Coffee?
Coffee.
While you're opening your
That's
water.
a fave. Yeah, not coffee, but it's water.
Great record. Is it a story of jealousy or deep love or both?
Ooh, kind of both. Not as much jealousy, I will say. So this song came from, I think I was scrolling on Tumblr. Sometimes when I want to write, I go on Tumblr and just get inspired like with visuals and stuff. And I think I just saw something that it was like a coffee cup and it had like writing on it or something, and it said something like I'm jealous of like the coffee on your lips or something like that. And I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. So I sort of like just went in on that concept and just thought of just all the things that all the objects that you could be like jealous of that
Steering
are closer
wheel?
like closer to the person than you are. And that's really how I felt, because me and Andre were long distance for a long time. So he was in Germany and I was kind of everywhere else. And so that's where this song stemmed from. And I wrote this one with Taylor Parks and Nate Campany.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, like, do you write while you're feeling all that, or are you writing this record after you and Andre are together and you're no longer long distance and you're tapping into that?
It's both. I think this song we were still long distance, and the way I write though is like I'll just get like a line and I'll just write the line in my phone and be like, oh, that's good. Maybe I'll use that for something. And then the next day, maybe it's like a random melody, but it has nothing to do with that line. And I feel like I write really scattered, so I'll just have pieces of songs. And then when I go into a session to co-write with someone, or if I'm just like by myself and want to start piecing stuff together, I'll have kind of all these different elements to try and fit together like a puzzle piece. So that's how, I mean, this song was that way. Like I just had all these different analogies and then walked in. Analogies or metaphors, I guess. I always get them confused.
To be honest with you, I can't tell you.
I have no idea.
Yeah. Now I feel dumb. I'm like, wait, what is it? I learned this in school.
Yeah, we didn't go to college.
Tight, me neither.
Okay, cool. Google.
Does anyone know?
Dan,
would it be a imagery? So it wouldn't even be a metaphor or. Oh, you're right. We talked about this. It's imagery. Mm-hmm. So
imagery.
Yes. So but I wanted the song to feel very poetic, where if you just read the lyrics, it feels kind of like a poem with lots of imagery. Yes.
I'd walk an ocean to get to you.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Germany.
I want love like that.
It's across the ocean.
Well, you know that. I got a globe.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to cross the sea to get over there.
You thought about it?
I kind of did, yeah. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
So if I was to try to swim,
Yeah.
but I have a kayak.
Yeah, it's literal. It's a literal place that he was in. That's what I'm saying. These songs are very personal, but everyone can relate to them.
I want love like this.
Aw.
I really do. Language.
Yes.
Is this learning somebody's love language?
Can be. Yeah. You know, like the 5 love languages? Is that what you're talking about?
I mean, like Latin?
What?
Wait.
I mean,
what?
Latin and Italian, aren't they the languages of love?
Oh, that's what you're saying. Oh, no.
No, but I mean, like, love languages like giving or like
Yeah,
food.
that's what I was
Yeah, like
talking. Food. Food is a real love language, I will say.
It is, right?
Yeah, it really is. No, this song, though, is about really just, I think, getting on someone's page. So trying to get on the same page with someone. Because, I mean, we do really speak different languages, I think. Like, anyone who's in a relationship with someone, you know that it's like, you just sometimes miss each other and like, what are you saying? So it's really just that kind of song. And I think, what was I going to say? Wow, I just had a blank.
So this has nothing to do with speaking German.
No,
Oh.
no.
Okay. I don't know.
No.
Well, we're talking about languages and we're talking about Germany.
Yeah, no.
But like,
It's like so literal, yeah.
That's how personal they are.
That would be hilarious. I guess it can be, but at the time, no, it was not.
but
about
see,
that.
it makes sense not being on somebody's page, but
Yeah.
also like learning somebody's love language is a big one.
Yeah, it's more about that.
What
yeah.
are the 5?
The 5? The 5 love languages are
Google
I think
that. Love languages.
acts of service,
Okay.
physical touch,
I'm gonna
words
write
of
this down.
affirmation,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
quality time,
Uh-huh.
and
You're missing one.
gifts.
Yes.
Yeah. Did I pass?
That's Stan's love language.
You did pass.
That's,
Good job.
What is your love language? What do you appreciate?
I think mine's quality time. I think I like just being with you. Like if it's my birthday or something, or you, I don't know. I think if you just hang out with me, I feel the most loved. Like if I just have your time, you know, because time is precious.
I don't know what my love language is. I want to say it's that, but I'm really like leaning towards gifts.
Gifts are great.
Oh.
Don't feel ashamed to have that. when
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
your
but like
love language.
it can't be my soul language. You know what I mean?
It
Like
can.
I know, but I don't. What does that say
Like
about
you feel
me?
like you feel the most loved if someone just gave you like a random present. Like, hey, I thought of you. Like, here's some
yeah,
candy. I don't know.
I guess maybe I
Here's
feel
some-
loved.
here's
that
some
way.
Yeah.
candy.
I mean, I think we all
Here's a
have.
Pez dispenser.
I think we all like all the love languages, right? Like they're all kind of nice, but
Yeah, positive affirmations are
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Dan, do you have one?
Definitely not gifts. I hate gifts. It make me feel so uncomfortable.
for real. Are
Oh
you
my God. The
serious?
act of giving and receiving gifts, like even watching somebody else exchange gifts, I can't handle it.
Wow. So okay. So noted. Never giving you a present.
Yeah, please.
You'll get really uncomfortable.
Yes.
And you don't like giving gifts either.
Oh no.
Okay. Noted.
No. I mean, yeah.
Maybe yours is like acts of service. Do you like doing things?
I like doing things.
People?
Yeah, we'll go
Yeah.
with acts of service.
Yeah. There's a test I think you guys can find online too.
Yeah, I
You
think
sh-
I'm looking at
Yeah.
that right now.
You should
I'm-
take that.
Okay.
I'm interested to see what you get.
All right, I'll
Yeah.
see you guys in a little bit.
I love that this came from this song language. That's awesome.
The lie.
The Lie. This one I snuck on the album. Well, sorry. I snuck on the album at the last second.
Well, I mean, last song you wrote for the album.
So I didn't necessarily I wrote it. It was kind of an older song, but I like kind of tweaked some things and then like
Ooh.
it all of a sudden it like came like full circle and I was like, "Oh, this fits now on the album. Like I need this on there." So
The
I like
Lie.
re-recorded it at my house and stuff. Yeah.
What did you add? New lyrics or?
Like redid the vocal and just kind of made it feel more polished and stuff. But yeah, this one though I did with. Have you heard of a group called They?
No.
They're really cool. They're like I guess they're like R&B, hip hop, but they also produce and write, and it's cool because it's like a different feel compared to like the rest of the album. It's like I don't know. It's cool. It's different, but it's still bluesy, and I really like the lyrics on this one.
Dude, the lyrics are they're honest. They're all honest. Like, and it sounded intense. Like when you're singing it and writing it, does the lie change for you from the first time you were working on the record to the second time? Like when you went in to kind of revamp it?
Yeah, it just felt like more fresh. I think when you I loved taking just songs that I kind of had in my back pocket and then listening to them in context of the rest of the album, and it's like, oh, this actually makes sense, because in a way I'm sort of playing a character in that song. So I like that there's that song, and then there's Actress that kind of is right next to that one, and it kind of in a weird way ties in with the whole like movie theme of this album, because I think the overall theme is sort of like me watching my life as if it's like a movie, and this is kind of like the soundtrack to it. So I don't know, it's fun to find like little tie-ins after the fact. It's fun.
Should we listen to it all top to bottom?
Sure. Like right now?
No, is that the right way to listen to it?
I was like, wait, right now? You want to take a minute?
I totally will.
Yeah, no, I think yes, because I will say there's some interludes in the album that is another sort of last minute add-on that was really, really fun for me, fun and hard, because I went to go visit my mom, and I just grabbed on the way there. I just had this idea, and I was like, I'm gonna grab a bunch of home videos and see if there's anything I can take from it. And I took them all back home, and I just sat for like 3 nights straight, probably not really sleeping that much, and my eyes were just like glued to the TV. I was like bawling my eyes off watching all these home videos, especially there's one, my grandfather, he did my baby dedication, and there's a song, I don't think we've talked about Your Words yet.
No.
The song about him. Yeah, so there's a song on the album called Your Words, and that was the main one where I was like, oh, it'd be cool to just hear my grandfather's voice like before this song. And so that sort of was where the idea came from. And then all of a sudden I'm just watching all these home videos, and I'm like, oh, that would be cool here, that would be cool here. So I literally just took my phone and recorded the audio from the actual camcorder. Like, it's nothing fancy at all, and just got like voice memos of it. And I love that part of this album, because I think it just helps tie everything together and make it feel even more personal, and just gives it that little, like, I guess, personal touch.
But it really does. Like, it makes you, if somebody doesn't know you, they feel like they understand you and know you, and they work together so well with the records.
That's cool.
It's the flow is right. It feels like a movie, and if you listen, you can see it all. So
that's amazing.
So
it's cool.
There's 3 of them, right?
Technically 4, I think. Yeah, some of them are really short, and
they're time stamped, which is so cool.
So I grabbed like the actual date from the home video and named it that. Yeah, I think there's technically 3 that have like actual home videos. Yeah.
So what, December 16th, 1992, that's when you're born?
I'm 2 days old.
Okay.
Yeah. So my birthday's the 14th.
And then what's this one, October 28th? Did I get that date right?
Oh, probably August 28th.
The 8 is August.
8 is August, yeah.
Jesus.
We'll cut that part out.
1997.
So August 28th, 1997.
Yeah. Wait, is it 96? I think that one's 97.
No, it is 97.
Yeah, so that one is...
I actually have the notes in front of me.
Yeah, cool.
So I have 8. I just don't know my months.
That one is happens to be my brother's birthday, his first birthday. So he was 1 year old, and in that clip, I'm running around the house singing and asking my mom if I can wear my bathing suit at a show or something. Like, if I can perform in my bathing suit. She's like, sure. Like, I put that one specifically before the song Kid I Used to Know, because I just wanted to capture like that youth. I think I literally say in it, I'm like, can I wear my bathing suit when I'm a kid? And I'm like already a kid, so I don't know what I meant by that. But and the song is called Kid I Used to Know, so I just thought it was kind of cute.
Are you the kid that you used to know?
I am not the kid that I used to know, because now I'm grown and life is hard. That's the point of the song. But I'm trying to become the kid I used to know. That's kind of the goal.
That's kind of the vibe I got. Like, like you're chasing your past, or elements of your past that you want to still exist today.
Yeah, just like it's so funny because we talk about pretty fades and like making sure that we don't get carried away with like holding on to our youth too much. And then I have a song called Kid I Used to Know, where you're literally trying to get back to that kind of like innocence again and that inner child. So it's kind of a weird contrast there. But but I guess there's a time and a season for everything. But with Kid I Used to Know, it was really just me feeling like overwhelmed with life and the stresses of the world and all the pressure and stuff, and just kind of I was missing being a kid again. Kids don't care about anything.
Literally anything.
It's the best.
There's no worry or risk.
Yeah.
Or judgment.
Right. Yeah.
You're laughing at it. It's true.
Kids. Yeah.
I felt judged as a kid. I felt judged by everybody. I don't know what you're talking about.
At a certain age, you did though, right? There's this nice little cushion where it's like you don't. Yeah,
you
know.
get 6 or 7 years. I think.
Like you don't care what people think.
Oh,
awesome.
You're right. I didn't care what people think.
Yeah.
But I remember looking back, understanding the feeling of judgment cast upon me by others at a young age. I'll tell you the first time.
Okay.
First grade, it was pajama day, and I was wearing footy pajamas, and it was hot out. And the teacher was like, "Why are you wearing that? Looking at you makes me feel hot." And she made fun of me.
She said it like that?
Yes.
That's so mean.
And then the whole day, she was like, "You're making me sweat." That's judgment.
Well, if you were wearing footy pajamas
First grade,
on a
I
hot
was
day.
6.
Wow, and you carry that with you still.
Miss Cifarelli, that was her name. I hope she one day sees this because I remember.
That's crazy. Isn't that crazy that you still remember that?
Tori, I'm feeling it. I feel like I'm in the classroom. I remember, I feel like your desk is in front of me and I am starting to sweat.
Were you sweating in the pajamas?
No, I was feeling
fine.
great.
So it was her own she was projecting.
Oh, 100%. And the build
You're
up.
I'm good.
I was thriving. The build up to me wearing this cool set of pajamas that I had was high, like weeks of anticipation.
Oh, you were ready.
And the fact that she ruined it for me.
You should redeem that moment.
I'm gonna wear footy pajamas.
Here.
I'm gonna wear
or
the
to
same
the next
ones.
concert that I see you at.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
You see me in the pit.
Yeah.
Footy pajamas and everything.
This just felt right. This cat.
I get it.
Do you still want to perform with a bathing suit on?
I think it's a little weird at this point.
What question is that?
No, it makes sense to ask.
No, it doesn't. Don't do that.
Because in the video I say like when I'm a grown up, can I do that? And I don't think I would at this point. It's a little strange.
Yeah. It felt strange asking.
Maybe that.
Yeah, that's okay. I didn't want to make you feel weird, even though it was kind of weird. But I was just I was just going with it. I was like, I don't want to make it.
Okay.
Inspired by true events.
Yes.
I want to. Which record off this album are you best showcases who you are today?
It's so hard. I need to see a track list. Well, which ones have we not talked about yet? I mean,
I've been checking them off as we go.
Okay.
Thank you, Dan.
We still haven't talked about Places.
Two places, yeah.
Yep. We haven't talked about Until I Think of You.
Okay.
We haven't talked about Before the Dawn.
So is the question, which one represents me now?
Yeah. Like if we wanted to get to know who you are today, which song should we listen to?
That is so hard. Because it's like an album is like my brain.
But is the whole album you today?
It's like little pieces of, well, okay, I see what you're saying, because the whole album, like as far as how I'm doing and what I'm going through now, this is more like a snapshot of kind of the last couple years, whereas now I'm in a much better place and I'm like very happy. If you listen to this album, you'll be like, wow, she's like going through it, like she's really she's kind of sad and going through a lot, and which was definitely the case. But I think I have moments of that still, but if anything, gosh, it's so hard to pick one song. I don't know. I feel like I can't decide. It's so hard. I'm really trying. I'm really trying. There is a song,
Do you have a top 3?
You know what? I'm going to say Before the Dawn, because that not only is probably one of it's the last song on the album, and it's one of my favorites that I've ever written, ever. And I wrote that with Jimmy Napes and Bruno Major, who's an amazing artist.
What makes it your favorite?
It's my favorite, and I would kind of tie into the question you asked. I think I like it because it feels like one of those songs that's always going to be relevant, and because the song is basically saying, hey, I don't know what you're going through. I'm talking to someone else, in some cases talking to myself, but that was really deep. But in the song, I'm seemingly talking to somebody else, and it's just me saying, I don't know, I can't even, put into words what you're going through, and I can't imagine what you're going through, but just know that I'm here for you, and it's okay to be in this place that you're in, because it's always darkest before the dawn. Like, there's going to be hope. And so I think that song, I would say, represents me, which is kind of fitting that it's the last song on the album. I'm just realizing. You always get me to think deeper about my own stuff. What is going on? But I do think that one represents me now, because, and musically, I think it represents me, and also lyrically, because I think I can say, I can kind of take all the things that I did go through, and then now sort of not pass it on. That's the wrong way to say, but just hopefully encourage other people through the things that I've gone through. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I feel like that's like a reminder record for yourself. Like, maybe that's a record of, like, that's a record you're going to love to perform, because no matter the situation, it's always a great reminder that it really is always darker before the dawn.
Yeah.
When you were writing that song, how long did it take you to think of so many things, like you can't have peace without war, like the negative and the positive?
Yeah, that was a really fun part of writing the song, because I'm trying to think of what I walked into the session with. I think what's a rose without a thorn, like that sort of imagery. I'm gonna use that again. And I remember sitting, me, Bruno, and Jimmy, and we all just kind of like powwowed. We're like, oh, that's great. What are some other visuals we can use? And so we came up with this like long list of different ones, and then kind of chose the best ones, and that became our chorus. So it's another song that feels very poetic, like very, very much about the lyric in that song.
Inspired by true events. That is the name of Tori Kelly's latest album. It deserves your ear.
Wait, we have like a few more songs to cover.
Dan,
I just want to make sure we hit them all.
Want.
I mean, we can go through the whole album.
We're only missing like 2 at this point.
Okay.
Wow.
We have to, what else we miss? Until I Think of You.
Oh, Until I Think of, okay. This was I want to say the first song that I wrote with Jimmy, and it was actually in LA. It wasn't in London. And that was the song that kind of got my team excited, I think, about working with him. They were like, oh, there's something here. You should do more with this guy. And that song was really me. At the time that I wrote it, I still wasn't being fully honest, and I wasn't really fully embracing all the things I was going through. So I was just kind of writing about like random things in these sessions and not really going deep yet. And then I got to this session with Jimmy, and we just kind of, this song is more from a perspective of like speaking for somebody who might be dealing with feelings of depression and just in a really, really dark place. And so I kind of felt like I was taking on that role. And he was telling me a story about people that he knew. And so we were kind of just bouncing off different stories of other people, and then kind of came up with this song. But the irony of that is, after we wrote it, and I'm sitting here thinking like, oh yeah, that's about, someone else. And then that whole kind of next couple months or so, I was starting to feel that way, like how it was so weird. It was like backwards. It was like I wrote the song, didn't feel it as I was writing it, and then later I listened to it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is me. So yeah, so it's one of those.
Whoa, when did you realize that like you were literally embodying a record that you wrote?
I mean, because I think I just wasn't being honest. It was probably in there still. I mean, that's probably how I was able to write it, but I didn't really know what I was feeling. I mean, with all the family stuff, and I was just like all over the place, to where I wasn't able to articulate, hey, I'm going through a lot. And it wasn't until afterwards, and I listened to the song like months later, and I was like, oh yeah, I've felt that way before. So it's interesting.
What do you think your team heard in that record that made them be like, we're excited about this?
The emotion in my voice. That's literally what they said. They're like, there's something here, because it sounds like you're singing it live. There's no like effects. It's just like in your face. There's even some like cracking in my voice. Like, I actually wanted to re-record the vocal on this song, and we did. We tried it, and Jimmy and a bunch of other people were like, no, we have to use the original because it's like a demo vocal that we just kind of threw on. But I think I was just in a place and it was showing in my voice.
And then there's a choir in this one, right?
Yeah.
I love a choir.
Me too. Yeah, Jimmy recorded a bunch of choir and string stuff out in London. So that was fun to get in my email. Yeah.
Daniel?
Well, I think the last song we have is Two Places.
Oh, cool. Yeah, Two Places. Okay. On that same note, this was another song where it was a little bit early on in the album process, so I also wasn't really being honest with myself and didn't know how to like articulate what was going on. And so I walked in. This was also with Taylor Parks and Nate Campany. And
in LA?
In LA, yeah. And I just kind of went into that session and they're like, so what do you want to write about? And I was like, I have no idea. I just know that there's a lot going on and I don't know what else to tell you. That's literally what I said. And we somehow came up with this song, Two Places. Because it's really, Two Places is really just about not knowing what to do with all your emotions. Like if anyone, I would say this at my shows, I'd be like, hey, this is a song for if you're anything like me, you can get overwhelmed sometimes with your feelings and you can be happy one second and it's sad another second and like all over the place. So in this season of life, that's kind of how I was feeling. And then we just put it into the song. So I call it my emo song because it's pretty emo.
I feel like the moon trying to stay up for the sun. Heart is so confused because it's two places at once. It's really about being torn.
Yeah, and there's kind of a double meaning to this song too, actually, since we were going back to Coffee and the long distance stuff, because that line, I feel like the moon trying to stay up for the sun, there was a little bit of that too, like with my relationship and being like, okay, you're over there, like what's our future, like what are we doing kind of thing.
Yeah,
so
the
I
time
felt
difference.
Yeah, literally two places at once. So it was, there's a lot in that song.
Yeah, it's comforting and it keeps you up at night.
Wait, what?
I think I was.
The way you smiled after that.
Because I repeated a lyric and kind of just slid it in there.
Oh, I do say that, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
What line is?
Wait, what?
The way you said it so quickly and then smiled. I was like, wait.
I mean, I felt like you were definitely getting it wrong here. Like you said it and you didn't want anybody to know exactly what you said.
The same things that comfort me are keeping me up at night.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, sure.
Ew.
Whoa.
Ew.
What was that?
I got a real close.
Crack it up.
You put the headphones on at some point. When did that happen?
I don't know. It go a little while ago.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have them on because it would be really loud right now, huh? Is it really loud?
No, it's not loud. It's not loud. It's grotesque. It's like you hear every bit of saliva in his throat.
Oh,
All right, well, everyone turn the volume down if you're listening.
I'm sure
late.
somebody would like it. It's like what's it called? ASMR.
This is not ASMR. This does not give you goosebumps.
Okay.
It gives
Is that
you...
supposed to relax you? ASMR?
Yes.
Okay.
This is going to give you douche chills and then nausea. And then maybe vomit.
About it?
What?
What's douchey about it?
I mean, you just know you're like some weird bro laughing at himself.
Some weird bro.
Like you're laughing at yourself
laughing
right
at myself.
now.
I thought what I was doing was so clever by sliding that in there, and then she just looked like.
I'm sorry. Because I didn't want to say like and not really know.
Tori, please don't
what you're talking
apologize.
about.
It
Okay.
wasn't clever. It was confusing. It sounded like you had an episode.
You had the lyrics in front of you, huh? That's what you're trying to be.
I just
thinking.
wrote some down.
Oh. Yeah. See, I don't know my own songs like that. I'm not that quick.
You have to sing them.
I know, but there's a lot of songs, you know.
Okay. Inspired by true
I forget
events.
lyrics all the time.
I got one more question.
Inspired by true events.
Hope and Doubt, by the way, are those the two places you're one of the two?
Say that again.
One of Hope and Doubt.
Oh yeah.
One of the many two places that you're stuck between.
Yes, that I was stuck between. Correct. and at some points, yeah. Sometimes I do feel that way. There's a line in the song that says hope and doubt. I'm trying to think of the line now. See, I don't know my own songs. It's terrible. One hand. It's like one hand is
filled with hope and the other's
filled with hope
doubt.
and the other's filled with doubt. Yeah,
Story
exactly.
of my life. It really hit me. Yeah.
Aw.
In all aspects of life, I'm filled with hope and doubt. Every situation I come in contact with.
Yeah.
50-50 hope, 50-50 doubt, baby.
Man.
Split in the middle.
This song might be the one I've heard most people relate to so far. I think that's
get it.
Yeah, I feel like
because
I don't know what it is.
It's any two things.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like vague, like open for interpretation.
Final question. I feel like this is a mistake.
No.
Giving it to you.
This is a good one. You got your Grammys.
Oh, yeah,
congratulations.
I did. Why is it a mistake? Give me a chance.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I get the final question, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's a mistake.
Mess it up. Yeah, you already asked your weird question.
Yeah,
though.
the
It's
bathing
fine.
suit.
You got
was
it out
a
of the
little
way.
weird, yeah. But the Grammys, you got them. It took you a while to get them. I saw the video.
Yes, I did, and it was one of those things where I was like, I have to film this. Like, this is a once in a lifetime thing. I have to film this, and I would have filmed it anyway. But on top of just receiving the Grammys in a normal way, that would have been a fun video as well. But the fact that I actually missed people were asking this too, like why were they at Walgreens, and I missed the delivery because you have to actually be there like to sign. So I missed it, and which was kind of a blessing in disguise because I got to make this crazy video of me literally going to Walgreens. And I found out too because I called them. They were like, because someone sent me text like, hey, just so you know, they're only gonna hold them for like a couple days, and I was like busy and stuff, so I wasn't able to get them. So that was like the last day I could have got them to. I don't know what they would have done with them, but
why are they holding it at Walgreens?
Because it's like a FedEx like pickup place.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're not there to sign, they'll just be like, hey, just pick it up here. So so I got to go to Walgreens, and it was great.
Did the guys at Walgreens have any idea what was going on?
No idea at all. And they almost didn't give me either package. Cause it was like, sorry, it's not like in the system or whatever. And I was like, no, I have like the number and everything. And so I showed them, and they were like, okay. But it was a lot. It was a lot. I was stressed. It was like
a lot of drama leading up to the Grammy.
One guy like went on break, and I was like, you're supposed to be helping me. It was the whole thing, but it was worth it because I got the Grammys.
And where'd you put them?
I put them in my studio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought about putting them in like the kitchen or something, but
I feel like the studio's humble.
Yeah.
And
it'd be funny though, like or like in the bathroom, like anytime,
that's good.
like the guest bathroom. Anytime someone's in there, like
taking a poop, looking at a Grammy.
Just remind them who they're hanging out with.
Yeah, no, it's terrible. No, I do, and I like separation though in my home. I like, it's like you go in the studio, like you're in music mode. Anywhere else, you're just
home.
I don't know. Yeah, you're just home. Yeah, exactly. I want it to feel like home. I don't want like a Grammy staring at me. It's a lot of pressure. I don't know. But I do feel like I still need to have a drink out of my Grammy so I can be like Drake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's
what are you gonna put
that's
in
my
there?
next video.
Walgreens or?
Yeah, go back to Walgreens and buy some drink. I don't know what I would drink. Buy some drink. I don't know. What should I drink? Take like a shot of something? That's extra. That's a lot.
Champagne something?
Yeah, champagne feels good. Yeah.
Like a good champagne though?
Yeah. But you know what I'm talking about though, right? Like how Drake there's like a famous picture and he's like drinking out of it. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I want to be like him. So.
Hey, I support that.
Yeah. I feel like he started a trend. Like now everybody has to do that.
I'm looking forward to this video.
Great.
Eyes are peeled. Inspired by true events.
Sweet.
That is the album.
Yes.
You're awesome. Thanks for your energy as always, Tori Kelly.
Love you guys.
Love you.
Thank you.
I really hope you enjoyed that conversation. If you did, please subscribe and also check out our podcast. There's a link in the description, and also comment and like and do things. Other interviews are on the screen somewhere, so click them. Thanks for watching.